to Doyle. Doyle threatened to slice, gave it to Harper, and Harper did slice. On its way. It is over. Phillips steps in. Hoiks for Toalau. Then it's Laurie. Laurie on the edge. Fanua in space. Take them. Schneider. Phillips. Diaz. And still Diaz. He picked Durbin and went straight at him. Schneider again. And Toalau. Laurie. Fanua again. It's on again on the right. It's McLean. Cleary sweeps around, but it's Going instead, who hits and spins and crashes over. Luke goes to Laurie. Laurie bobs back inside, has a look up and goes again. Flings for Schneider. Now it's through the hands from Luke, and then Toalau, and Wake, and Alamorti, and still Alamorti. Flick pass, that was Price. This is Schneider, still last tackle, last play of the half. Luke stands still, pops and kicks. Here comes Schneider off the post. If you've left, they fan. Toalau props, steps and goes to Lipowitz, then Fanua, flung out to Farley. I don't know what you call that pass, but you can call it a try assist. Flat ball to Going. Going just crashes through them again.
Team in this New South Wales Cup competition, it was going to end the 17-match unbeaten run of the New Zealand Warriors. It had to be the Penrith Panthers, didn't it? It was a ruthless display for the Panthers. They led early. They had to claw their way back. That try from Brad Schneider on halftime really was the key. Despite the Warriors' late charge from Kalani Going, it wasn't enough in the end, losing for just the second time this season. And congratulations to the Panthers. Pretty much claiming a top 5 spot. It's not secure yet. We'll talk about the ramifications later in the show. Dane Laurie's going to kick off our deep dive. He had 173 metres from 17 carries, 2 line breaks, 2 line break assists to try assist. He had 5 tackle breaks and an offload in this one. While his Panthers time is coming to an end, with reports this week a contract's not going to be offered for him by the Panthers. He's now in the shop window for any other NRL clubs in need of a fullback, some Super League clubs with their expanded quota systems, so definitely still a lot to play for Dane Laurie. Mav Guy, a sound pickup for the Tigers next season. He had over 100 metres, 2 tackle breaks and offload. Defensively, he's been, for where, in my view, where Mav has really improved this season. He made 43 tackles in this one. He missed a couple. That's fine. It happens. But I thought he had a really sound game against a really powerful Warriors pack. And we got talked about Sione Fonua a couple of times this season. Of course, he was a really high-profile under-20s player in like the 2017 sort of towards the end of that competition. He's come back through in the last couple of seasons, working his way through the pathway, and he's putting together some nice numbers as well. He's been in and out with injury this season, but a fair display from him. Mackay for the hooker. He had 49 metres, a one-on-one strip, an offload, 53 tackles. I think he's going to be a really big 1-2 punch with Sam Healey, potentially for that final series. Kalani Going a double, 2 line breaks, just under 100 metres, 37 tackles. He missed only 2 of them, 6 tackle breaks as well. Tom Harley's off contract and on the hunt for a new club. He had 55 minutes on the edge, 17 runs, 144 metres, 2 tackle breaks, 26 tackles with only the 1 miss. Well, next up we're going to Redfern Oval for the clash between South Sydney and Western Suburbs. Wests need a win to keep their improved season on track, while for South Sydney, they're just hoping anything goes their way.
Out. Humphreys again to his winger there, and that'll be a try for the Bunnies, and some sort of try at that. 70 metres plus in this set. Humphreys again looking for Mellors to go up, and Mellors, he comes up with the football, throws it in, and South Sydney will score the try. 10 away are the black and whites. Naden, and onto the chest of Staines. Brent Naden with all. And now Naden with the kick, looking for Tui Tupou, who comes through. The bat goes backwards, and Tristan Hope is in the right place at the right time. This is the Bunnies line as Tarteo tries to crash his way over. Oh, yes, Peter Tarteo. A hospital ball, if ever you've seen it, and now Gudgeon's away. A counter from the Bunnies, and it's one-on-one with his opposing fullback, and Heath Mason with a try saver. Sydney West scrambling to get onside. Hands will do it. And instead it's the cutout to Mellors. And Hazen Mellors has a double. He plays it for West. To the boot of Falls. Mellors is there and he's coughed up the football, and now a chance for the Magpies. An offload away from El Zachem, and he finds his winger in. And Falls inside to Mason, accelerates through, and Heath Mason. 15 away. Quinn. And goes short to Myers, and Myers reaches out. Can't get there. Ata, this time, he won't be denied. Last signal, Falls drifting across. And then Mapapalangi, he had Staines, and then out to Tui Tupo. Hope shows it, and then flicks a pass to Kurt Falls. Oh yes, that's some sort of statement.
Nice victory there, 42 points to 24 over South Sydney, who were well in this game until about the final 10 minutes when Western Suburbs crossed twice to seal the deal. Let's take a look at some of our key performers. Celeste Arda'a, he had 54 minutes in this one, a try, well over 130 running metres, a line break, 3 tackle breaks and 7 offloads. Western Suburbs could not put this guy to ground at all. 21 tackles, 3 missed, 1 ineffective. Next up, Hazen Mellors. He picked up a double, 2 line breaks, 9 tackle breaks, a try assist, well over 100 metres. He's putting himself in the shop window for a different reason. Normally when we use that phrase, we're talking about potentially leaving, but I think with Hazen, he's really looking to potentially cement himself as sort of that next guy up in the squad, because you've got a couple of outside backs coming next year in Graham Talfa and Ed Gossi, so Mellors is just making sure that he's not forgotten about in that South Sydney outside back core. Next up, Tim Johansson, 68 minutes in the middle third. He just had under 200 metres, a tackle bust, 3 offloads, 36 tackles in the middle third. Talk about Mr. Consistent, you'll find a picture of Tim Johansson. Next up, Tristan Hope. He had a try, a line break assist, a try assist, under 100 metres running, but it was still one of his higher meterage performances of the season. A game high, 48 tackles as well. Peter Taitau, he's been a Mr. Consistent man since coming across from Canberra mid-year. He had just over 50 minutes in this one. A try, 4 tackle busts, just under 80 metres running, but it's about that 10 metre a carry that we've been speaking about all season. And then also 29 tackles as well. Eliel Zakim, he's also proving to be quite the handful with ball in hand. 12 runs, 107 metres, a try assist, 3 tackle busts, 4 offloads, 32 tackles. Contact just needs to improve though, with Arta causing all sorts of his offloads. 6 ineffective tackles just isn't that impressive, sadly, for Ellie there. But most of all, it was a pretty sound effort. Well, next up we're going to Kellyville Park for the clash between Parramatta and Newtown, with a lot more finals implications than it did just hours before the game was played, as a result of Penrith's big upset against the Warriors.
Puru, up over the top. Fielded by Stone Street. Now it's come backwards out of the hands. Parramatta have it, and they turn from defence into attack up over the halfway line. Watch out for him and Talataina. Ball floated forward, not called. The touch judge was not in position. And now it's a Raz Nanva. Nanva has support on the inside, and he won't need it. On the goal line are the Jets. Lussick looking here for Greg. Greg! Oh, all will and determination, not enough. Now for Lussick. Volkman, watch out from Talatayina. Twiddle, it's a hiccup pass, and now for Tungor. With a dummy, a step, beating Fernley. He's lightning quick. What about that pass? And now Fudi Itua. Have a scoot, the scream. Puru, now via Ela, great pass there. Gabriel pours through a gap. A couple of tackles left in the set here for Newtown. Great ruck work from Lussick defensively. Now Rajat Puru pours through, gets McCulloch, 1-on-1, reaches out, and Sam McCulloch scores for Newtown. For the Warriors. Now here comes Jones, who certainly ran around his own player. They're going to call play on. Jones, well that was a textbook Shepherd, and Eli Clark in goal perhaps. Volkman, Talatayina, Nanva, reaches out, and they'll point to the spot. Nanva on the last street. Comes here for Puru. Puru deep, now Villa holds it up. Gabriel, they had to score, and they score via the number 4, Gabriel. So defending with 12, the advantage that they need, Parramatta. Twiddle, and almost floated into the hands of Stone Street. Last tackle, Luke, short side, Talatayina, Twiddle, Tungdall for the corner. What a way to start round 24 of the knock-on effect New South Wales Cup. Puru, and again Penasini. What a tackle. Stone Street, Stone Street! The clock has struck 0, and Puru, it's out left.
Icy moments in that game out of Kellyville, well called too by James Robertson out there at Kellyville. It was a narrow win for Parramatta. That Niwai Puru goal missing just to the left of the posts, and that could be costly. We'll talk about the ramifications in just a moment, but Parramatta, they pretty much secured a top 3 position for the conduct of the semi-final series. Let's take a look at some key players. And as Nanva, a double over 150 metres running from 14 carries, 2 line breaks, 7 tackle breaks, an absolute weapon with the ball. We talk about players potentially being consequences of players leaving, like you look at Bailey Simonson, for example. Haraz Namva, as a consequence of that, has had to move up into his grade. He smashed it on all occasions. Both he and Richard Penasini have done a really sound job this year, but Namva's done even better than Penasini, in my view. Next up, Arpa Twiddle. He had over 100 metres running, 2 line break assists, 2 try assists, a forced dropout, 3 tackle breaks too. He's really made that Parramatta fullback jersey his own since Joe Ash's move up into first grade. And then Jordan Samran, he's finding his feet on the edge too. Over 120 metres, 7 tackle breaks on that new Newtown edge, an offload. Defensively, we were critical last week because he was a bit loose around the edges. This week, a lot tighter. Only the 21 tackles, no misses. Riley Jones moved up in a fullback, continuing his Mr. Fix-It role he served at Newcastle. He had over 100 metres, a line break, 2 try assists, and defensively moved into hooker, kind of switching in that rotation with Kobe Wilson. He had 25 tackles in that third as well. Next up, Michael Gabriel. He picked up a double, just under 100 metres, 2 line breaks, 10 tackles. He's now, I think, third in the leading try scorer division for the New South Wales Cup this season. He's been more consistent than Chris Vailila in recent weeks, but that kind of has a flag next to it. Vailila was playing a bit of fullback in that second half out at Kellyville. And then Niwai Puru, he's been Mr. Consistent all season long with ball in hand. A line break, a try assist, a couple of tackle breaks, an offload. We did give him a rap a couple of weeks ago about his contact improving. That's gone down a little bit. He's back, unfortunately, leading the New South Wales Cup in missed tackles, but these numbers are an improvement on what he served up a couple of weeks ago. Well, next up, we're going over to Belconnen for the clash between Canberra and Canterbury. Last chance salute stuff. The loser, their season's done.
Last tackle, come down this short side. Sanders, there's numbers. Martin will find Anderson, and Anderson will find the line. Outstanding work. They went down the short side. Moran was gone. Now Sexton puts the kick through for himself. Bounce is crucial. Spinning around. Mitchell Wood says, I'll have the bounce. And it's some clever work there from Toby Sexton. Now Sexton. Moran, Kurt Moran, room to move. Looks back inside. Turns him inside out. And Lepai Hopo will score after some outstanding work from the number 8, Curtis Moran. Sanders puts it high in the air. Anderson's there. He taps it back for Martin. Martin for the corner. And there's a try assist for Kane Anderson. Paddy at dummy half. Sanders. Cook through the gap. He's got Roddy outside. He looks inside. Chevy Stewart's there. Now Stewart winding up. Wilson's coming. Makes the tackle. Blake Wilson. Oh, he's still going, Chevy Stewart. Broke out of the tackle. And you can see Wilson punching the ground. Sanders. Cook. Wide. Talmor for the try line. He's a big body. Reaches out and scores. You can see numbers. Plenty of them. Sexton with the kick. Wilson's just got to catch and score, and does. Turpin. Sexton. Goes front door for Reardon. Reardon says, I'll bang through it. Jed Reardon. A lovely pass from Sexton, but the line. Levi. Sanders. Cook puts boot to board. Just got to sit up. With Teddy. Adam Cook. Outstanding work. Took the ball to the line. Just softly kissed the ball with his boot.
Take a bow, and also take a bow Adam Cook as well for the Raiders, getting up 4-point victory, keeping their faint hopes of a final spot alive. Canterbury, their season unfortunately done in the regular season for the third year in a row. Stats deep dive time now. We're going to kick off with Chevy Stewart. Now, the major talking point here with Chevy, he was placed on report for an alleged bite in the lead-up to Waitiere's try. Of course, we put it on our League Scene pod page this week. Of course, he was initially referred to the judiciary, and of course, as at the time of recording, we're not sure whether that's gone to the judiciary or not, so we'll keep you posted on League Scene pod throughout the week. He had 200 metres, 7 tackle breaks, and as we say every week, the Raiders are going to have a hard time fitting him in the capital, and it appears that his future lies away from the Raiders. Owen Paddy was sent down for minutes, his most minutes in 2025, 57 at lock, 58 metres, a one-on-one strip, 37 tackles in the middle third for Owen. And then Noah Martin continues his consistency. He's had over 100 metres, which has been a bit of a rarity at times, but he's had more impact with his carries this season, as we keep mentioning. A try for him, a line break assist, a try assist, 6 tackle breaks, a couple of offloads to boot. Contact, though, can be just a touch tighter. For Jordy Mazzoni, it's been a frustrating year. He's been in and out of Ron Massey, this level. It's been a frustrating year, but he has showed us a little bit of what he's made of. 186 metres, 2 line breaks and 5 tackle breaks. He's been a real explosive outside back, just deprived of some opportunities. Next up, Toby Sexton, a line break assist, 3 try assists. He had an absolute string down there. 21 tackles to 1 miss. He had 14 kicks. Mitch Woods only had 1 of them. And then Lipoi Hopoi, 54 minutes, a try, 114 metres, a line break assist, that beautiful pass to Moran to put him in the clear. 2 tackle breaks, 20 tackles there as well. Well, coming up next, we're going briefly to Newcastle. We'll explain why there's only 45 seconds worth of footage to discuss of this game between Newcastle and St George Illawarra. Last tackle here for the Knights. They go towards the open side. Hastings with that crossfield kick. It's going to be contested, and Fletcher Hunt flies the highest. And over they go for the opening try. Hunt scores. They'll lead 6 points to 0. Dragons just a little bit slow to start this game. They've got to get back on their horses here as Ilias now behind Nathan Lawson, who splits them with Grady's. He's over halfway. Support inside from Ilias, and Ilias taken down. Well, that package you saw, Newcastle picking up a 16-point win over St George Illawarra with about 20 minutes to go. The feed cut out at Newcastle due to a severe electrical storm that hit the area earlier that impacted the equipment, the broadcast on site. And that's why we only have 40 seconds worth of vision. It's a shame, and we're apologetic for that, but we can't help the weather, and we can't help when technology doesn't work in our favour. A disappointing result for the Dragons. Newcastle, they get another win away from the spoon position. Stats deep dive though. Fletcher Hunt had a try, 18 runs, 173 metres, 3 offloads, limited the errors in the difficult conditions. Next up, Jackson Hastings. He picked up a try assist with that kick for Hunt. He also kicked the Dragons into submission. A couple tackle breaks in amongst it as well. Was sound defensively. Speaking of sound, Francis Manu Leilua has been that guy for the Knights this season. He's really been consistent in a Knights side that has struggled. Over 100 metres, 3 tackle breaks, 4 offloads, 22 tackles with a 100% tackle efficiency. Rafe Tyra played the full 80, had just under 200 metres, a tackle break, a couple offloads, 31 tackles in there as well. Lockie Ilias picked up a try late, over 100 metres, running the ball, forced a dropout, had a line break assist with Cody Ramsey. He did have 3 errors though. That's something that we've spoken a bit about Lockie Ilias that needs to improve. Meanwhile, Cody Ramsey's been most improved for this season. He had over 130 running metres, 4 tackle breaks, a line break, and he's been a strong performer for the Dragons this season. Again, we're apologetic about the lack of vision from Newcastle, but the weather was not on anyone's side there, at least of all Bar TV, so you can't hold any begrudges against anyone for what happened out there. Well, next up, we're going over to North Sydney Oval for a clash that was vital for the Roosters' finals chances. A win, and they're alive. A loss, and they're gone.
Count still going. They go through the middle with Kobe Thomas, and he has scored. The Bears are over for the first try. He's got a huge future. Rodwell, away now to Sandon Smith. Here they go now to Ethan King. Breaks away. A chance here for the Roosters. Trey Petty scores in the corner. Here go the tricolours. They play it now. Docker Clay. Reece Foley scores. Straight through like a hot knife through butter. Nathaniel Roach. Vaivalata! Try! The red and blacks are over with big strip today. Docker Clay. Makatawa scores! Cock-a-doodle-doo, the Roosters. Half. Works it now to Sandon Smith. Runs across field now to Toby Rodwell. Intercept by Komalafe! 10 short of the halfway! Komalafe screaming down North Sydney Oval. Can they get him? No, they score! The Bears are over! Beautiful conditions here in Sydney. Iatasi James! Try! The Bears hit the lead. Fire it away now to Sandon Smith. Inside now to Jake Elliott. Works it to the right-hand side. And they're 2 metres away. Zach Docker Clay out the back. Sandon Smith. Beautiful halfback play.
The next best option, they have a chance to get the ball back.
And it's a penalty right in front for the Bears. They'll take the 2 points, Matt.
I don't know.
Seconds to go. Sandon Smith for the field goal charge down. Roosters regather. Inside ball. Sandon Smith. Unbelievable. The Roosters have won on the last play of the game. What a finish.
Sandon Smith, with his future being the talking point of the NRL world at the moment, calls game for the second week in a row, keeping the Roosters' New South Wales Cup hopes for a top 5 berth very much on the line. And how heartbreaking for North Sydney. They deserved a draw in this game, but just found a way to lose. It seems to be the perennial theme with North Sydney. They can be in a game, but they find a way to lose it. It's been a theme going back since 1908, let me tell you. Let's get into stats deep dive. Iatasi James had well over 100 metres, 6 tackle busts and offload, 27 tackles with just the 1 miss. He's been a revelation since his arrival from Manly mid-season. Speaking of revelation, Kobe Thomas once again with a really impressive performance. A try, 2 line breaks, just under the 100 metres, 3 tackle breaks, 23 tackles as well. And Sean Vaivalata, he had 37 minutes off the pine, a try, well over 100 metres, a line break, 18 tackles, 3 tackle breaks in a very impressive performance. For the Roosters, let's kick off with Sandon Smith, hey? 16 of his sides, 24 points, 2 forced dropouts, 2 offloads, 2 line breaks, 2 tackle breaks. Defensively, though, remains a bit of an eyesore. 19 tackles, he missed 6 of them, though, out there on the edge. North Sydney definitely made him somewhat of a moving target. Makahisi Makatoa, he had 43 minutes off the bench, a try, 15 runs, 155 metres, 4 tackle breaks, 4 offloads, a flawless performance in defence and in the middle third. Makatoa definitely providing much needed experience to this side. And then Benny Johnson in the centres, he had over 100 metres, 7 tackle breaks, high defensive involvement, over 25 tackles for Ben in this game, as well as a line break assist and a try assist for that one there to Trey Penny at the beginning of the half. But all of this talk around finals and ramifications, there's only one thing left to do. Let's take a look at the ladder at the completion of round 24 of a knock-on effect New South Wales Cup, and we can pretty much lock in the top 3 as definite finals players in the Warriors, Parramatta and St George Illawarra. After that, though, it's a bit of a log jam. Penrith on 30 points, I should say. Newtown on 29. Now, the Roosters are only a half game back on Newtown, but they have their final bye next weekend. Meanwhile, Penrith, they play the St George Illawarra Dragons and the Canberra Raiders. So, definitely a bit dicier for the Panthers in coming weeks. The Roosters have Newcastle and Western Suburbs to finish the season, while Newtown play Manly, who seem to be getting back into a bit of form. Ray Vega. There's a thing about Ray Vega against Newtown over the last couple of years that a couple of supporters have reminded me of in recent times, so that's something to keep a potential eye out on. Let's take a look at this week's Team of the Week though for round 24 of the New South Wales Cup. Dane Laurie, he's our fullback. Fletcher Hunt and Hazen Mellors on the wings. Aras Nanva and Manaio Itioni in the centres. Toby Sexton and Sandon Smith in the halves. The forwards, Tristan Hope and Celeste Arta'a. Tristan Hope is the hooker, ranked by Tyler Mariner, and Noah Martin in the back row. Kalani going, box the scrum. The bench, Riley Jones, Adam Cook, Iatasi James and Eliel Zakem, with Mason Teague, the 18th man in this game. Well, it's time to deep dive Sandon Smith's performance a little bit more and analyse his contract hopes. No surprises after leading his team to back-to-back big victories, some clutch moments. Sandon Smith is our knock-on effect New South Wales Cup player of the round for round 24. He scored those 2 critical tries, that one at the end. Brilliant eyes-up football from him to realise that the play was still alive after that charge down. He had over 150 running metres, 2 forced dropouts, really controlled the game. Toby Rodwell had a bit of a down game by his standards in the last couple of weeks. It's really been a bit of a disappointing week for the young halves, but Sandon Smith said, I'm going to take it and lead you guys to victory. Now, where does his future lie and where is his best position? That's sort of the headache that I've seen a couple of people talk about. If he goes to the Knights, they want him to play hooker. Is he a week in, week out starting hooker? I'm not sure. Can he be that? We've seen in glimpses as a utility that he has that potential to. Now, the next question is the Cowboys, the Raiders. They all need a half or a backup half to compete. And I think that if given half a chance in first grade, we've seen it at times with the Roosters this year. He could take it by the scruff of the neck and really lead a team around the park well. But there's been times throughout his career and throughout this season as well with the Roosters that his ceiling and his floor are completely different levels. And I think that's why the Roosters have gone the way that they have. Obviously, the talk around Cherry Evans is pretty heavy, but also you've got the talk around Hugo Savala and the way that he's coming at his side over the last couple of weeks. So Sandon Smith's future is a really interesting proposition. We'll have more to say about that on the League Scene podcast in coming episodes. Well, next up, we're taking a trip to the Queensland Cup, and it's an important game for the Ipswich Jets. Carter Gordon makes his long-awaited return from a back injury while they're fighting for a top 8 berth.
Ipswich now looking for some points as Clark goes inside to Benyu. The pass was out for Pascoe. Pascoe going strongly.
Hold the line!
Right in there, directing some traffic out of dummy half. A kick in behind, chasing through, and over they'll go. Brandon Clark. He gets the opener. Ipswich just moving up the field a little too easily at the moment. Liu now, Gordon, flat pass, Ross into a bit of space. That was a great ball from the rugby convert. It comes out the back. Fitzgibbon's there to pick it up. He steps inside and scores. Now Joel Hughes with the ball for the Clydesdales. He's gone through some lethargic defence. He went straight through Lenahan. He'll take on Christian. He'll get to the try line. Smith Shields called to play. They go to the open. Gordon, quick hands. Christian, a fake and a jink and a delightful pass to Fitzgibbon for his second try. Carter Gordon, there are just touches of brilliance from this young rugby convert.
Hey, 3 away!
Hand called was
10-11!
decent play, the ball speed behind it, and Bryant's gone straight through. He's got support left and right. It's Howell Fitzgibbon. Brian chooses Fitzgibbon, and he will cross for a first half hat-trick.
Coming into 3.
Now Brian kicking from inside the 40.
Everyone good on the left.
Involved in a lot of good things today. He gets the bounce. That's perfect from Oscar Bryant. Ipswich working across. That was Broadhurst. Pascoe out the back for Christian. Christian splits them. Support inside for Pascoe. He gets it and continues his try-scoring run.
Go for.
The Clydesdales looking for their second try as they go across now. That's a beautiful pass from Jerd. And over in the corner, Feuer-Schwalger gets his 4th of the season.
Hold.
And Ipswich finished with a bang. He goes back for Christian. A kick in behind. It's been spilled by the fullback. Pascoe gets his 13th of the year. Caden Boosie left it behind. And Ipswich cap off a terrific afternoon in Miles.
In there for the Ipswich Jets by 20 points over the lowly Western Clydesdales. Now sees them 3 points clear of 9th position as they look for a remarkable turnaround to make the top 8. The only threat I can see here other than the Brisbane Tigers is South Slogan. They do have a bye in play, but they still have 4 points. So Ipswich would need to lose out essentially to avoid missing the finals. Stats deep dive time now. Emre Perre at lock. He's been a Mr. Consistent for the Clydesdales in what's been a really trying year. 55 at lock, 10 runs, 109 metres, 4 offloads, 23 tackles. Mr. Consistent as always for the former Cowboy. Feuer-Schwalger, he had 8 tackle breaks, the most dangerous of the Clydesdales out in this game. A line break, 14 runs, 160 metres, plus that neat try in the corner. Speaking of neat tries, what about Joel Hughes' effort, hey? An individual bit of brilliance, busting through some really speedball defence, straight through them, 19 tackles as well, in a fairly sound display from young Hughes, the 5'8". who is continuing to get better. But for Ipswich Jets, the focus was Carter Gordon. It was a nice welcome back from had a line break assist, several try contributions, dominated the field kicking in his first half after Dion Tauper went off injured after the opening 10 minutes. He was mixed with his defence though, that's something he wished he could work on. Alan Fitzgibbon picked up a hat-trick in the first half. He had over 180 metres, a line break, 6 tackle breaks and an offload as well, showing that he could be a force to be reckoned with for any club needing a speedy outside back. And then Armour through the middle third. He's been poorly managed at the NRL level, like many a middle forward before him by Des Hasler's bench rotation, but the guy can play. 10 tackle breaks on edge back rower is off the charts. 3 offloads, 14 tackles. A little bit mixed though. He had 2 missed, 2 ineffective, so 4 overall poor efforts. And then he had over 180 metres with ball in hand as well. So Armour once again on full display. Well, next up, it was a real David v Goliath matchup. The Central Queensland Capras are languishing down the bottom of the ladder against Wynnum, who are trying to charge for a top 2 finish. Let's see how it unfolds.
So looking for the first points of the game. It goes from Madden, out wide for Hoyter, who kicks through, he gets the bounce, Hoyter spins and Hoyter scores the opener. Well, that was alarming down that left edge of the field. Capras looking for their first of the afternoon. Let's see what they can produce here with the footy. They go across field, now some numbers working, the pass, tipped, dropped, picked up, there's going to be a try here for the Capras, they're going to score, it's Connor Gooley who will pick it up and go over the line. Carry there through the middle. That was Josh Corrick, gets a decent play the ball speed too. Tupanua on the flat ball, spinning out of the tackle, the referee searching, the referee sees a grounding. Looking for their third try here. You just feel if they get this next one here, it could be a difficult rest of this afternoon. Sudden now, quick head spray, and Gary Tulakutu goes across. That's a much-needed third try for the winner Manly Seagulls. Nice tackle here for the Capras. Really waiting. Out of dummy half. It goes a long ball for Moilea. Now across for Blake Moore. The little chip kick. Oh, it's been taken and scored. And John Radel. Good carry through the middle third. They're coming back to get them. The crowd wants 6 more. Finianganofo now passing through. That was a great ball, Aaron Moore. And it's the big bopper, Tyler Zepanowski. They're getting around him here in Rocky. And they finish it off right here, the Capras. Flat pass, Jackson burrowing his way to the line. He'll go close, he's there. Central Queensland complete the upset of the season.
Massive upset in this Queensland Cup year, and it's the Central Queensland Capras having their second big scalp in as many weeks. They knocked off Burleigh a fortnight ago. They come in here and they knock off the high-flying winner Manly Seagulls by 10 points at home. 2 tries to their big boppers, Tyler Zepanowski and Ryan Jackson, who will feature in our Stats Deep Dive. Got him the glory, but I'm going to start with the middleman Nixon Put. He is the PNG Talakai. I said it earlier in the season, and I'm 100% on board with it now. An absolute machine that can cover both positions better than Talakai, I think, at the moment, too. 18 runs, 221 metres, 3 tackle busts, and 3 offloads as well. Solid defensively, too. Ryan Jackson's a Dolphins contracted player who's starting to come into his own in the last couple of weeks. 50 minutes, a try, a line break, 13 runs, 120 metres, 5 tackle busts, an offload, sounding defence. As was Tyler Zepanowski, that try just gave him the lead, and they never looked back, didn't they? 42 minutes, 16 runs, 180 metres, a line break, and a tackle break too. For Wynnum, though, it was an incredibly disappointing performance with so much on the line, but it was old boys' day at Rugby Park, Rockhampton, and teams always get up for those significant occasions. But the guys that did stand out, Deloise Hoyter, a clever individual effort for a try, over 100 metres, 5 tackle breaks, solid in defence, and an offload to boot. Jordan Grant's really been a leader for this Wynnum side this year. A line break, 2 tackle breaks, 8 runs, 100 metres, 29 tackles. And Tony Tupanua had some impact off the bench too, with a half-an-hour display, 86 metres off the pine, 4 tackle busts and a try to give him some momentum going into the second half. And pretty solid defensive numbers too. Well, it's a battle of the far North Queensland affiliates up next in our lower grade wrap. We're taking you up to Mackay for the clash between the Mackay Cutters and the Townsville Blackhawks in a match that could go either way. Mackay looking for the first try. They go towards the open side as they go across field. Paulo with it outside. Tries to beat the defensive miss, but does so easily. Jackson Paulo opens it up. Looking to hit back after the poor start. Uncharted territory. Lois Sam. Called to his feet to play. They go from Campagnolo. A flat pass for Gunn. James almost through them. Quick play, the ball required. They do. Hodges. Back to the centre, Latu bumps out of 1, 2, 3. Isaiah Latu. Nisbet to play. Dudley from dummy half says bye to 1, 2, 3, 4. Dudley Dudley, the leading try scorer in the comp. And another one for this electric winger. Mackay in search of a second try. Guy in a dummy half, across this time for Burns, now for Paulo, playing in that sort of link role from the fullback spot. Byron draws and passes to Tapasi. Sione Tapasi goes across. Break the spirit here. If this one leads to a try before the break, a crash ball for Sharp. Jaded Sharp gets a big one on the stroke of the break. Looking for a try here just to make things a bit tighter as they go through Bignell. Numbers brewing. Quick hands Paulo. Angelic goes across. And didn't they need that Mackay to make this one closer? Try for Jaded Sharp on half-time would prove to be the difference in this game for the Mendy Blackhawks over the Mackay Cutters, who showed one of their stronger performances in recent weeks, bouncing back from a 60-point shellacking at the hands of South Logan. Let's take a look at some of their key performers in our stats deep dive. We're going to start off with Jeremiah Mataunia off the pine. 39 minutes, 17 runs, 165 metres. Good God. Talk about impact. He had 2 offloads, a tackle break to boot, 18 tackles, 3 missed, 1 ineffective. If you're talking about overall effort on effort, can't go much further than John Radel. 62 tackles in that middle third as well. He had 15 runs, 142 metres, and a tackle break as well. I'll be talking a little bit more about John Radel later in the program. And then Jackson Paulo, of course, picking up a try, a line break, 13 runs, 125 metres, 3 offloads, a line break assist, and a try assist. Defensively, pretty sound indeed. Caden Lars, yes, he played some minutes. You're just about as shocked as I am at home, especially for our folks up in Townsville. See what happens when you give some guys minutes, Todd Payton? They actually, play well. But 62 minutes, 15 runs, 167 metres, 3 tackle breaks and offload, 28 tackles, no missed, 3 ineffective. That's going to be the sad thing when Todd Payton gets the sack at the end of the season, is that we can't take the piss out of his poor rotations anymore. Like, that's going to be the saddest part about when these coaches get the dismissal, because normally we spend half the time in these stats deep dives just ripping them apart for their poor rotations. Speaking of ripping and tearing, Dudley Dudley, a try, 15 runs, 223 metres, a line break, 7 tackle breaks and offload. Now, we got some mail last week about Dudley and about how he's balked at the idea of an NRL contract in the past, how he's happy playing Q Cup, but I think that the form he's in at the moment, a team just has to offer him something, give him a couple of weeks to see how he acclimatises, and if he likes it, he likes it. And speaking of liking it, Isaiah Latu in the middle third having a really sound day too. 34 tackles and that crucial try to kickstart the Blackhawks scoring. Well, our final Saturday match of the day took us over to the Sunshine Coast Stadium for a match with plenty of top 8 implications between the Sunshine Coast and the Redcliffe Dolphins. Looking for an early point here, just to settle things down. Hunter, they've got the numbers, they work quick hands, and over they go, Zion Johnson, the winger that's been all-encompassing this year. Heenan now for dummy half, a dummy, a show and go, they were all back waiting for Freeman to get the ball, and Heenan goes over. From the scrum, it goes with them. Mason Payne on the outside of the defence beats Quade Ward. Nonu as well. Boland came late, but it's not enough to stop Mason Payne. Now with Blakemore shapes to will kick. There's nobody there because Dobson's willing off his wing. Flynn Camilleri scores. Sofa Solomona through the front door there. And they get a quick play of the ball as Hunter shapes to kick. They're going to go play this footy out to the left-hand side. Cooper then, a nice offload from Williams. Payet now in a bit of space. He's over the 20 now. Beats my fullback. He puts a kick on it here. Mason Payet, nobody's there. Camilleri. That is a cracking try from the Falcons. Valepu charging through them. Met by 3 Dolphins defenders. Heenan from dummy half to Peters. First from defending defence. And Redcliffe are going to be held to nil here on the sunny coast. It's picking up a big 32-0 victory over the Redcliffe Dolphins. Both sides in semi-final contention. Both sides trying to stay in the 8. The Dolphins are potentially looking for a top 4 spot. Meanwhile, the Falcons were just looking to stay in the 8. And they did so in fine style with a 32-0 thrashing of the Redcliffe Dolphins. Let's look at some key players, and they're all local players as well. Fallon Peters picking up a try, a line break, a couple of tackle busts, 12 runs, 85 metres, a team high 35 tackles though. Next up, Mason Payne, he had 2 line breaks, 6 tackle breaks, a try assist. That was a gem of a crossfield kick he put over, as well as a try, 12 tackles with 100% tackle efficiency. He's been one that's been on the radar of the Falcons for a little while now. Next up, Cody Hunter had a try, several try involvements, a line break assist, 6 runs for 93 metres, 4 tackle breaks, a couple of offloads. He was pretty sound in defence after last week being a bit suspect. For the Vins, we're going to start off with Zachariah Miles. He's been a real consistent force at the back for Redcliffe this season in the absence of Trey Fuller. 16 runs to 212 metres, a line break. He's had 12 on the year, 85 tackle breaks on the year. Add another 10 to that, 4 tackles, and he was really consistent at the back. Sheldon Pittermar, 57 off the pine, 12 runs to 84 metres, a tackle break, 36 tackles with just a 1 miss. Kyle Schneider, 80 minutes out of 9, he had 4 runs to 40 metres, a tackle break and offload, 43 tackles, 1 missed, 1 ineffective. A quick point on Redcliffe too, their head coach Eric Smith, who they picked up this year, just announced this week that he'll be going down to Canberra next year to be a bit of an assistant coach and sort of roll down there with Ricky Stewart. I wonder how much of an impact that really had on the side this week. Well, our final match of round 21 takes us to Santos National Oil Stadium in Port Moresby, where the Papua New Guinea Hunters are looking to hold off South Logan's semi-final charge.
Inside the midfield region now. Oh, beautiful nice ball. Gap. Rory, support on the outside. Beautiful pass.
Milford.
And Milford goes
the line. That is a great try after the...
Play the ball now, 5 away from the line. Here they come, the PNG Hunters.
Big run.
Strike back, big run there from the captain. Easy over.
He's over.
Sonny Wabo gets away from one, support on the outer. They got numbers.
We've got numbers
the
there.
Long pass. Here's Joshua Lau.
Alex
Max angles back in field. He's gonna go all the way. Alex Max. How? 10 inside the Magpies half. Lau again. Joshua. That looks forward, but referee says all clear. Just Callow. Gairo Voro. 1 dummy, 2 dummies, and then he links up with Douglas David. Steps back on the inside, drifting across the park, support on the inside. Manasekai goes over. Again, on the hunt. Nice play here. This could be a possible try. Pariah getting smashed there by the defense from PNG. They're looking good with the ball in hand here. The Magpies send the ball away, and there's a try to the Magpies. On the last. Here's Sonny Wabo. Great pass. Beautiful to watch. Poetry in motion. And here's Solo.
Smart play from Solo.
Inside the Hunters' red zone. Little grubber through from Milford. This could be a possible try here. Walter's family, synonymous with the Broncos. Look at that.
Lovely
beautiful
play,
pass. Incredible play here from the Magpies. Sending it back to the middle. Milford.
Short ball.
Away. And the captain
Ferguson
rolls over. Right in front of the sticks. Rapati again. Good hands. PNG
right, Aubrey.
Off tackles. Reaches out and cleans the ball. Joshua Lau. It's a better kick than the last one. Good chase there.
Shot.
The ball's coming.
There we go.
Play on!
There we go.
The Hunters somehow able to hold on. Here's an intercept. Shut the gate. This should be the final nail in the coffin as Joshua Lau races away.
concluded in style with the Papua New Guinea Hunters putting 50 points on the South Logan Magpies. It got to within 8 points at one stage. And if you're the Papua New Guinea Hunters, given their defensive problems at times this season, you would have been sitting back on the couch at home thinking, what could possibly go wrong? But nothing went wrong. They steadied the ship and won with 2 tries in the final 6 minutes to seal a 20-point victory, and a pretty important victory in the context of their season. Manisa Kai is where I'm going to start first. 32 minutes, he had a double, a couple of line breaks, 7 runs to 80 metres. Really important that to have that impact off the bench. He's spoken a couple of times in some of the media I've watched him do about how it's important to keep the rage from those starting forwards, and I'm very much intrigued to see how his career develops right there. Next up, we're going to look at Douglas David, this young outside back. He had 10 runs for 121 metres, a line break assist, a try assist, 2 tackle breaks. He's been a revelation for the Papua New Guinea Hunters this season on the Sting. Next up, Solo Wane, 4 tries for him, 12 runs, 132 metres. There's 3 line breaks, 3 tackle breaks as well for him. 13 tries, 19 line breaks, and 164 metres. There's for him in this game as well. He's been an absolute beast this season, has Solo Wane. For South Logan, Floyd Aubrey, 4 line breaks, 3 tackle breaks, a try assist, an offload, 12 runs, 114 metres, and a try. Anthony Milford had a bit of a return to form as well. A double, a line break, 10 runs, 101 metres, 3 try assists, 3 line break assists, a couple of tackle breaks, and an offload. 11 tackles with just the 1 missed. And then Rory Ferguson, 65 minutes, a try, 2 line breaks, 12 runs, 127 metres, 4 tackle breaks, a try assist, 25 tackles with just the 2 misses. So a fair display there. Looking at the ladder at the completion of the 21st round of the season, it's the Norths Devils leading on 4 and against from Townsville, Burleigh a point back. You can pretty much lock in those 3 for the top 3. Wynnum, Manly and the Sunshine Coast still fighting out for top 4, with percentages proving key. Ipswich still a chance at the top 4. Papua New Guinea still a chance at the top 4. Redcliffe, they're fighting to make the 8, as are the Brisbane Tigers. South Logan have a bye coming up, but they're probably done their dash for the season. So, also doing their dash, Tweed, Mackay, the Central Queensland Capras bouncing back in the recent weeks. The Pride on 16 points, and then the Western Clydesdales pretty much secured the wooden spoon, unfortunately, for the 2nd season in a row. Let's take a look at our team of the week, though. Julian Christian from Ipswich at fullback, Alan Fitzgibbon and Dudley Dudley on the wings, Solo Wane and Nixon Butt in the centres, Anthony Milford and Cody Hunter are the halves. The forwards, John Radel and Ryan Jackson, Kyle Schneider, the hooker in a losing side, Adama Howe and Fallon Peters are the back row, Isaiah Latu locks the scrum, the bench at Jordan Grant, Caden Lars, Tony Tupanua and Tyler Zepanowski this weekend. Our player of the week is a rare one. It comes from the losing side, which doesn't happen all too often. John Radel, in 18 minutes for a front rower, 15 runs, 142 metres, 64 post-contact metres. The big one for me is that output and how you match up in defence. 62 tackles, only missing 1 of them. If I'm being critical, I would like him to be a little bit more hit and stick in contact and not let that offload get away, but that is the only knock I have on him at the moment, and it was a pretty solid display from John Radel in this game, and he deserves our player of the week once again this season, John Radel. If I'm an NRL club needing some middles, I'm doing anything I can to lock this guy up. That's our program for this week. Thanks again to everyone for your company and for your support throughout the weeks. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn those notifications on. We're running into the finals here on the Lower Grade Wrap, and we'd love for your support to see how this program goes from strength to strength throughout the coming weeks and also next year as well, because we're going to be doing this yet again next season because we love the content we're producing and the support, and it's really important that we make it pretty clear that we're coming back for a 2nd season of it. Thanks again for your support this season, and we've still got a little way to go. On behalf of the entire League Scene team, I'm AJ Luke Antonio signing off for the Lower Grade Wrap. We'll catch you next week.